All right, welcome into Market Day Report. I'm Scott Shellady, otherwise known as the Cow Guy. Thank you very much for tuning us in here today. If you've been with us all day, that's even better. I'm going to make sure that we've got some pertinent information and help to make you stay. How about this? Let's take a look at the markets. That's really why you tune us in, isn't it? Let's take a look at corn. Let's bring that up behind my big head and see what it looks like here. What do we got? We're kind of sinking in here a little bit. We've got a 3/4 cent loss in the May. 6.75 3/4 is last there. Still well above 6 cents above the lows. A 1/4 cent drop in the July. That's down to 6.42 1/4. Going out to deferreds, even D's is higher, but not by as much as it was. 1 3/4 cents higher to 5.68 1/2, and that's about 2 1/4 cents off the highs. Moving right along, well, let's see what we've got going on in soybeans. Maize up 2 cents, 15.19 even. Right there you go. But we've got we were 12.5 cents higher at one point in time today. So boy, we've really kind of reined it in. Let's go out to the no of the new crop, 9 1/4 cents higher there. 13.20 3/4 is last. We were 5 cents higher in the highs, so that one's hanging in there a little bit better than everything else. But now 13.21 even, up 9.5 cents and 4.5 cents off the highs. All right, that's not bad. Wheat in Chicago, the Chicago wheat market, you ask. Well, boy, we're not doing very much there either. We've got May wheat in Chicago, that's down 1/4, 6.96 1/4. July's up 1/4 to 7.07 1/2, and September's sharply unchanged at 7.17 3/4. So a little something for everybody there, but really not a lot going on in Chicago wheat. Let's see if we've got any action over in Kansas City, the hard red wheat. Well, we do a little bit, but it's not the good action, right? 8 cents lower in May, 8.81 3/4 is last there. Going out to the D, 7 1/4 cent lower to 8.63 even, and that's still about 6 1/4 cents off the low. So we've got a little room. Let's take a look at spring wheat in Minneapolis. 4.5 cents lower in that May contract, 8.84 1/2 is last there. 3 3/4 cents lower in the D's to 8.83, well off the lows by about, say, 8.5 cents. And then finally, we'll take a look at cotton. What do we have happening in cotton? And here we go. 150 points higher in the May, 84.80 is last, 9 points off the highs. D's is up 137 points to 84.25. All right, let's bring in Tommy Gersafi. He's with Advanced Trading. Where are you? Valparaiso? There you go.
Valparaiso.
Yeah, all right. Okay. Valparaiso, Chile. Well, I just rattled off a bunch of numbers. Anything jump out at you? Anything stick out?
The markets are incredibly thin, Scott. As a trader and a member of the Board of Trade and someone who's executing orders, I'm having no problem executing orders for farmers. But if you had a large order, so I'm on the execution side for my own personal account and then doing orders for farmers, those orders are small compared to big stuff. But the way they're running these markets up and down, if you had big size to execute, the amount of slippage would be incredible. And I attribute that to the lack of humans. As you know, we had trading floors, everything else. We sent them home for 2 weeks during COVID, and then they never came back. And there's also, this is interesting, I think you'll add color to this, there's so many busy markets right now to trade that grains aren't the only game in town. Bitcoin's up huge on the year. Cattle, the meats are crazy busy. The stock market's moving around. The dollar's moving around. Natural gas is moving around. There's so many great things to trade right now, and grains have become incredibly thin. So there's only X amount of traders in the world, but I would say 80-90% of them are algos. Real traders clicking the button, there's just not as many. And so when these orders come in, call it a whale, like when a whale in Las Vegas or a whale in the futures markets come in, incredible amount of slippage. I'm glad I'm not on that side of the execution desk. So if you're a farmer, no worries. We can get anything done for you. If you want to sell 1,000 corn, you're going to move this market. Look what happened to Kansas City wheat on the open, hit stops for 8 cents on nothing after being up 12 cents last night. Back to you, my friend.
Well, that's the world we live in. And, everybody wanted the surety of execution, so they wanted to know exactly what a price. And when that's going to be the case, and you take the humans out of it, this is what you get. And I've the open outcry market, obviously, wearing this jacket, I've got an affinity for that, and folks standing around trying to make a buck by bidding and offering all day long, even when there wasn't really a lot going on. It was good, but it couldn't keep up with the times because you need to be able to count to 1,000 in a nanosecond, and the computer can do that, and people can't. That's the problem. So
yeah.
All right. Now you made me harken back to the old days. Boy, I miss it. Anyway, stay right there. We need to go through the livestock. We're going to do that after we come back from these messages. Thanks. All right, welcome back. You want to see what the meat prices are? I kind of do too. Let's take a look and see if anything's changed since the last time we were there. Let's take a look at Chicago live cattle. Okay, folks, just not a lot going on here. Look at this. June's only down 15 cents to 164.72. We got August off 12.5 cents. 12 cents. Look, they're all off about the same until you get out to Dees when it's sharply unchanged at 172.27. But between unchanged, now we actually have an up market in that Dees. Between up 2 cents and down 15 cents is what we've got going on. So we can safely assume that there is not a lot happening there. Move over to the feeders and see what we've got there. This is a little bit better on the day, squeezing a little higher. May's up 60 cents to 211.35. What is that? That's like 22 cents off the highs. Go out to October, that's up 57 cents to 231.47, and that's about, what, 35 cents off the highs there. So that's what we've got going on in the cattle markets. Let's see about lean hogs. They didn't want to stay higher. They couldn't do it, really. May's down $1.72 to 79.27. We've got June off $1.95 to 86.22. There you go. If you started to think we were going to be going higher for the lean hogs, they kind of disappointed, didn't they? Let's bring in our guest analyst still. He's hopefully staying in the wings there. There he is. All right, that's Tommy Grisafi, Advanced Trading. Great friend of the Cow Guy Close. Got to put that in there. I love having you guys on. Thanks for the sponsorship.
Thank you.
How about anything jump out at you when we look at these meats?
No, hum ho day, but they're getting the job done, right? The cash is king, and the cash market's leading the meats, and it's interesting. Hogs are just a sad story. You talk to guys who I am not the person in Advanced Trading talk to about hedging hogs. We have a whole group of people who really do that for a living, but just watching the hogs and thinking if I was a speculator, it's just not a great market to trade right now. If you had a long-term short on, you got to be loving life, but someday hogs will turn around, but it's not right now. And you also have to look back, Scott. You have to think about what's transpired over the last 3 years. 3 years ago today, we're all locked down buying sanitizer by the gallon. And those very effects we did are affecting markets. And you've said it before on your show, and Scott the Cow Guy in this show, is that the first time you said it, I kind of laughed at you. You said the effects of COVID are going to be around for the next 10 years, whether it be financially, what's happening in the way we process food. We're going to talk about that more this afternoon. But there's so many things, and the meats are, this game isn't over. And it all,
right.
Anytime you have extremely low grain prices, it does one thing to the market. And anytime you have extremely high prices, it does another thing to the market. And it's just not easy to change course. So the path is set for a bull market in meats in cattle. Hogs don't have that story.
Right.
And of course, you understand the economics of how easy and how quick you can make bacon versus steak, my friend.
I agree. All right, brother. Great to have you on. Thank you very much. Tommy Grisafi, Valparaiso, Indiana, with Advanced Trading. We're going to bring it back to Nashville so I can throw this at Suzanne.